Welcome to another edition of the Beige Planet Podcast. I'm Paul Pate.
I'm Al Lawrence.
Welcome, Cayetano Garza, hailing from South Texas, right?
Harlingen, Texas. Yes,
awesome.
Sir.
Good to have you in the house. Texas in the house.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, Cat is an amazing artist. I've been a big fan for years, but we're not talking about your art, Cat. So just...
That's awesome.
Settle down. Just settle down.
I have nothing. Yeah, I gotta.
That could be the extended show, the later part.
Oh yeah, we're definitely coming back to that. By the way, tonight's episode is sponsored by New Holland Brewery in Holland, Michigan.
And the beer that I'm drinking.
And the beer that, what is that? Yingling or?
No,
That's.
You've had Yingling?
No, I need some bad.
Man, I haven't had a Yingling in years. I love their black and tan so much.
You know what? I don't like dark beer, but I love their black and tan. They have a good black.
I love their black and tan.
Good. Yingling, come to Michigan.
Yeah.
So, Kat is also a musician. So we're going to talk about your music tonight, Kat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No one's ever asked me about my music. So.
What? Square Pegs. Listen, I checked out Square Pegs. Was it one of your bands, Kat?
Yes, Square Pegs is a project that I put together back in 2005, I guess. And right before I moved to Vermont, I wanted to do something where I included all my friends, so I'd spend as much time with them as possible before I moved. So I created Square Pegs, and I had a couple of friends who were decent at rapping, and we figured we'd do like the Gorillaz thing and have a cartoon band.
Yeah.
So that's what Square Pegs is. It's kind of a cartoon band.
I love the sound. I listen to the radio nowadays, and I go, would it kill somebody to put in like a horn into a song? Because the crap that's on the radio today is just so generic, And so, you guys had horns and raps and
that's why I don't listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty influenced by a lot of different types of music, so.
Yeah, well, so
radio is a weird thing nowadays, isn't it?
Influences.
Well, I mean, a lot of different things. I grew up listening to rock and classic rock and oldies and classical music and, rap started when I was a kid, I mean, it came up when I grew up, rap grew up and, it took me years to really, really delve deep into it, but hip-hop and rap and instrumental music, jazz, a lot of R&B, hip-hop stuff in there.
Well, Kat, when I turned it on this earlier today, I started it playing, and my wife was right there, and I was like, well, this is not what I expected. Not at all. Because you live in South Texas. Your name's Cayetano Garza. And I thought you were going to have some, and you're always talking about burritos on the internet.
This is the racist part of the show, by the way.
No,
I am not. That's racist.
I can wait now.
I do post the food. I do post the food sometimes, especially when I first got back. I was like, "You guys don't know what you're missing."
So I turned on the music, and it wasn't what I expected. I thought I was going to get some, Mexican influence or some, Tex-Mex.
Oh yeah.
Type of...
No, and it's funny. I'm barely delving into that with my live stuff, like the stuff I do. I go play for money here locally.
Right.
And I'm starting to add some Tex-Mex flavor into that.
Giving the people what they want.
I'll give it exactly, yeah.
Can I try to play one of these?
He's got some good stuff on here.
We want to get stoned because it feels good, man. It feels good. Yo, because it feels good. Right.
That was a pretty good one. I like that one.
Be it gin or be it bud, THC's the one you love. Follow nation, congregation, leading us to salvation. Cultivating, educating, grab a lid and start debating. Be it bud or be it gin, roll a spliff and let's begin. Roll a spliff and let's begin. Roll a spliff and let's begin. Roll a spliff.
Back to the lecture at hand. Senor Sancho Swift's got the master plan. Gonna take a lecture tour all across the land in a van full of hippies. days it's
hard to listen to this and have people watching me.
With the rhythm and run, but the Buddha will get me lifted. I'm truly gifted with a dedication second to none. Living life under the gun isn't fun, but the killer's my friend. On the herb I can depend. I'll be smoking till the end of time. They say getting high is a crime, but if loving the weed is wrong, I don't want to be right. Well, I love you, Mary Jane, producing a sound so profound. And my friends gather round.
So let's talk about the technical aspects of
Yeah. Well, I mean, I listen to a lot of different types of music, and I really like electronica, and I really like DJ culture, and I've learned, a lot watching DJs and watching people cut stuff. And I was just saying that I really like the technique of taking a sample and just bump, 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 just really simple sometimes, the most simple thing. Or taking something and modulating it a little bit by chopping it up and then modulating the pieces. And there's all these little things that are going on. And it's funny, like I started using other people's music a little weavier lately. And no one's come after me yet, which is good.
Well,
I think we're giving it away. I mean, we're giving the stuff away that we make for free, and we're not selling that. So
right. We talked a little bit about this with Deacon a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I asked him what a mixtape was, and he said, "Yeah, well, that's where, you're giving it away, so you sample whatever you feel like.
You can use anything."
Yeah, and I think nowadays, it's becoming more mainstream. People understand that, you can take a piece of music, everything's copied. All art is all art is a copy of something.
Right.
It's the highest form of flattery, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so. I mean, I revere everything I use.
No parody.
Everything I'm stealing, I really love, and I put it in there because I love it. So.
So, what is your what are you working on lately? You're in a band now, or you?
Well, I mean, I do live performances, and that's, I guess, falls under Summer Milk, which I don't know if you got to hear any of that stuff, but that's all acoustic, more Texasy, more country, more rural. I don't know, a little more like down home. Me playing guitar and harmonica, basically, and singing and stuff.
That might be what I was expecting when I turned on the music today.
And actually, we go into the earlier archives of the Summer Milk stuff. There's more pop rock, and there's an album I made when I first moved to Vermont for the Summer Milk stuff. So Summer Milk basically is just anything that's acoustic or rock or anything that's not hip hop. And then the Stretches is me learning how to use. I use a program called Reason, so a lot of this stuff is real electronic based. It's all made with the computer and with with microphones and samplers and keyboards and stuff.
Oh, you got a Neil Young. You got a Neil Young cover on here.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Play them all.
All right, here it is: Summer Milk and Razor Love.
Sure old man became fascinated with his own plan. Turned it loose, your mama too. There wasn't a thing that you could do. All I've got for you is the kind of love that cuts right through. All I've got for you is a razor love that cuts clean.
Good.
Have you heard this song before, the original?
No.
No, I never heard the original.
No, I wouldn't listen to Neil Young if I was. It's not something I would choose to listen to.
One of his newer songs too.
I've listened to songs and stuff, but not a lot. Really didn't start listening to him until he appeared on the song with the Sting. It's kind of started. I went back and listened to more of his stuff.
Yeah, he's got a lot of great stuff.
I can't get over is how different this is than Square
Pegs.
You're so creative.
If you want to hear something I wrote recently that's really recent, go down to the Last Family, and it's Matter of Time. Matter of Time is probably the best song.
In the Summer Mill?
No, it's down on the Glass Family.
Oh, okay, sorry. Matter of Time? Matter of Time?
Yes.
Sir. This is one I wrote recently.
This is what I thought I would hear when I turned it on. This is good. I like this.
Yeah, I'm redoing it actually for Summer Mill album.
Is that Jewel singing on there?
My friend Tina. Yeah, I had a summer collaboration workshop. Yes.
Yeah.
A great voice.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Have you heard of Linda Ortega? Have you ever heard of Linda Ortega?
Yes, she's great.
She reminds me a little bit. Do a Little Red Boots. Remake that and have her sing on.
Makes me want to go get my cowboy hat.
I think you should.
Smoke cigarettes.
And I don't know which way to go. Seems like you've been this way before.
So the Glass Family, is it collaborations all of them?
It was just, Tina and I collaborated over the summer, and she had some songs she'd written, so we recorded some of those. We did a bunch of covers, a bunch of French covers, It was real challenging to, learn a different song I've never heard before, never ever, and figure out what key it was in, and then make it happen.
Yeah.
All the music.
I'm always curious. I always ask, so Paul's probably getting sick of it. What kind of equipment do you use as far as keyboards?
It's pretty minimal. Everything we have. It's an Akai MK10 or MK100, 100, I think. It's an Akai. It's a keyboard that hooks in by USB into the computer.
USB plug and play?
Yeah. It would be better to have a FireWire one, apparently, but we have a USB one that was like it was actually bought by Big Mouth Bass of Square Pegs. He's kind of bankrolled our recording equipment stuff lately, and so all the sounds that we have that are like all the Glass Family stuff and all the new Square Peg stuff is all done with this. So we use that. We use Scarlett. It's a Focusrite Scarlett USB input 8-channel mixer preamp, and then Yamaha studio speakers, monitors, and then just my Lenovo laptop with Reason. We're using Reason.
Yeah, I've never heard of Reason. I use.
Reason's been around forever now.
I use. Have you heard of Ignite software? Yeah, that's what I use. Amazing sound quality out of that.
Yeah.
And an Oxygen 25 M Audio USB plug and play.
I have an M Audio here at home now because I took all of the good stuff to Mission, where we do the Square Pegs, Mission, Texas, where we do all the Square Peg stuff now at the Square Lair out there. So I have an M Audio here that I'm going to use to try to do some of the new Summer Milk stuff, which will be a whole new album of music, hopefully.
Okay.
Wow.
Starting with Matter of Time, I'm going to redo it.
If people want to find you, they can find you at magicinkwell.com, right?
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of incredible art there, but we're not going to talk about. And then if there's a music link, and you can click on the music and you go to the SoundCloud, and
it shows you all the SoundClouds of the different projects. Yeah.
This is my question that I always ask. But I mean, this really, for you particularly, Kat, you are so prolific. I mean, I didn't even know about your music. Yeah. I didn't even know about your music.
I'm late to work every day.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just talking about your artwork. And I assume you got it. So my question that I always ask on almost every show is, it's life is hard enough just trying to make a living, but on top of that, you're doing all this drawing, all this music, and it's hard to make money,
I've never made any money off of it.
Fair money, especially.
Not real
so
money
why
anyway.
do you do it? Why do you do? I mean, you really.
All I've ever done.
You have a huge output. I mean, Al, if you check out magicinkwell.com, there's the comics and several different, and the same as your music. There's a variety of comics.
I was on the.
Oh, go ahead.
I was on the site. I was checking out as much as possible as I could.
I showed my wife earlier, and she said, "Yeah, it has that retro look to it. The characters that you draw and stuff,
That's interesting. Yeah.
But why do you do it?
I don't know. I ask myself that a lot these days. I've done it for a long time. I mean, I grew up playing music as a kid in church, so music's always been part of the household. Like when I was a kid, and music, even after going to church every Sunday, and going into bars to play, as a young guy or whatever. I mean, it gets in your blood, music, and then the art. Well, it always was something I was doing anyway. I always drew comics as a kid. From the second grade, I took it seriously in the second grade, and from then on, it was a serious endeavor that I was always plugging away at, trying to get published, trying to get recognized as a cartoonist, trying not to get pigeonholed as a Latino or a Hispanic or a Mexican or whatever, not doing, and then later wanting to doing Cuentos de la Frontera, experimenting with webcomics, that was my in to having any kind of real name for myself. And then I kept doing it anyway. I don't know, but never doing it to a degree where it was going to make any money. It's almost like I on purpose would, create something and then fuck with it. So that it wouldn't be marketable at all. It just not marketable at all. No one, just getting people to read it at all is hard enough. And then
this is fantastic. It'll make me millions. I must fuck it up.
Well, it's like I'm afraid to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, I mean, if you measure dollars as success, you
Well, and
okay, but for me, the creativity and the quality and the integrity of, just
thank
having
you.
the creative, keeping the creative integrity of it.
You got to keep the creative urge alive, and that's it for me. It's always been about not being bored, not being
Boring.
not boring. Well, it's just not being boring, not being bored, and
Right.
constantly challenging myself and constantly upping the ante with whatever skills I have. I feel like I look at the site sometimes, and I feel like Square Pegs could be a lot bigger. If I had some more animation skills or
Oh,
better recording or better musical skills or you know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah. Maybe I could do a animated video for you. What do you
That'd
think?
be amazing.
Oh, all
That'd be
right.
amazing. I've been thinking about doing it too. Just like even with Flash, and I pay attention to all the media. I always read stuff and watch a lot of cartoons and stuff, and so I'm really into animation and I don't know. I feel like if I
Well, this
just
could
keep
be a whole
going,
other show because
yeah.
I have got one film out and Al and I actually just wrote the script for another, and so I've been working hard on animation. So maybe we can talk after.
How time consuming is animation compared to comics? I mean, that's the thing with comics too. It's so time consuming.
Yeah, I found. I mean, the first film that I did was 7-8 minutes, and it just consumed an incredible amount of time. But
yeah,
as anything, you learn how to do it, and it gets better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
In fact, while I was waiting on Al to read the script, and I decided to occupy my time.
Put you on the spot there.
I'm the one who wrote the initial script.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort, but
collaboration's not easy.
Well, Al's a great screenwriter.
Very. Awesome.
I am not, as Al would say, I suck.
But he sent it to me when I finally got around to reading it. Yeah, there's huge errors in the format, and I didn't bother making those changes because we're not submitting it to anybody. We know what's going on, so
yeah.
But I made sure I let him know that when I sent it back to him. I said, "Yeah, your script writing sucks."
But the story.
Yeah, I knew what was going on. So as long as we know what's going on, that's all that matters.
That's true.
Anyway, how did we get off topic here? I don't know.
Well, we're talking shop.
Yeah. Anyway, to occupy my time while he was reading the script, I worked on another film that I wrote myself, and I mean, quickly I have 5 minutes, of footage, whereas it took me a couple of months, 3 or 4 months, to get 7 minutes of footage on my first film.
Oh wow!
So I was learning Flash, learning the different software tools that I do quite a bit of animation and write in Photoshop. It has an animation tool. So
I've used Photoshop as an animation tool. It's good.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it works.
I mean, my animation is pretty rudimentary. It's not like Disney or Pixar or anything. But
and see, I'm thinking like you can get that quality. I've been watching a lot of Japanese stuff too, and like really absorbing Japanese techniques and stuff for the last few years actually. Manga especially, but also I've been paying attention to what they do with animation, and it's really not that hard to to make a really compelling looking cartoon with very limited actual work.
You're right.
Or actual like time intensive work. Yeah. And you save the time intensive parts. I feel like you save those for the real, like you want a scene to really have punch, and that's when you put in movement, like real calculated animated movement.
Right.
So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. But
what I found to be one of the funnest things about it was the putting in the voices and the music. to try to segue back into the music.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about like
truth.
cartoons. You know, we have a couple of songs we're working on right now that are, I feel like they're probably the best stuff we've recorded. One of them is a remake of an old song that I did back in 2007. I should send you the link of that because I was still learning Reason at that time.
Okay.
And you know, recorded all these songs, and some of them we're redoing and making better. So we got one in the can that's almost ready. It's couldn't get to sleep last night, and then we have another song we're working on. It's a completely new song, new beat, and everything. And yeah, both of them. I just want to like make a cartoon or make, you know. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing with the comics to go with it and how I want to package all of it. But
right.
I'm thinking like 4 or 5 page stories for
Yeah.
each song, you know, and those become
Awesome.
like a little self anthology of
right.
little stories about these characters.
Well, if I can hork in on some animation, I'd be glad to.
I might take you up on that, so you better be careful what you offer.
Well,
pay
I'd like to
involved.
hear if you want to do a collaborative thing, I'd like to hear the music. Then maybe I could come up with some kind of concept, write some stuff out for Paul to follow along with, keep him under control.
To keep collaborating, I definitely want to bring in other musicians, other rappers. I know there's a guy here in Brownsville who calls himself Farmertron.
Farmer what?
Farmertron. And he's got some great hip hop that he's made, and he's a really good performer too live, and he's kind of indie hip hop, you know, just really funky, cartoony stuff. And so I kind of want to do a collaborative thing with him where we have a battle between Square Pegs and Farmertron, and he's got this like, you know, this Constructicon kind of thing going on, you know. So we'll see how that all pans out. But
it's cool. All right. I think we're to the part of our show where we bring up a random topic or just
awesome.
Anything you want to talk about that's happened to you in the last week or so. Al, you got anything? What's been going on?
I got your, like I told you, I got your graphic novels.
Oh, awesome!
Nice. Yeah.
Notice the
man.
Notice who that looks like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Wow. It's kind of.
Yeah, I remember when Paul first came up with the whole concept of this. This was back in '80s. You first came up with this back in the late '80s, '87, '88, right?
No, it was the '90s.
Was it in the '90s?
Yeah. I really liked the show. One of my favorite shows of all time was Homicide: Life on the Streets. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I do remember that show.
And,
a lot of people like that show.
And now I can't think of the guy's name, but the actor who played Clark Johnson was the actor, and I kind of had this character in mind, but anyway, his name is Lorenzo Perez, and then as I started to draw him, you know, I spent a lot of time with Al, and so he started to look like him.
Started becoming Al.
Yeah. So
he's got a man crush on me.
Though. Yeah. Isn't it cool though to be kind of immortalized in cartoon form? I really love that. It's
okay,
like
this is my story. This just made me think of this. I know
I haven't finished mine yet, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Al. I'll tell this. Go ahead.
I was gonna say is I finally got a week off, but like you guys saw in my in the message thread there, I think I got to get my. Does anyone know how much Benadryl you give a cat?
Wow.
Without killing it.
I've never given a cat Benadryl.
Probably a quarter of a Benadryl, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go buy some
I don't know.
liquids. She's scratching like hell, and that might even be too much. I'm gonna get some of the. I'm gonna get one of those eyedropper things.
A couple of drops of that.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's basically. But yeah, that's basically my life right now. I don't know, Paul, if you saw. I'm gonna have some new photographs coming up on. I already posted 2.
I like the one with the icicle.
Oh yeah, I love that
That was
one
pretty
too.
cool, man.
I've got a page on Facebook that I post my photography on, called Beige Planet Photography. I'm gonna have roughly, I don't know, a dozen new photos going up here pretty soon. Yeah, I posted the icicles and then the one with the snow and the trees.
Yeah.
Did you see that one yet?
I don't think so.
Got a little bit of a yellow glow to the snow.
Is it snowing up there? You guys
No,
have
this
snow?
is yeah. This is no. It wasn't shot here. We're actually all the snow melted, thankfully. But
it has snowed here though. I mean,
yeah, it has snowed, but it's all gone.
And then
Yeah.
it'll be back in a couple days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just cold as the frickin' dickens right now.
It's just teasing you a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you moved to Vermont.
Yeah, I know all about snow now. I spent 3 of those 5.5 years without a car too. So
Oof.
I know what's up now.
Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I was going to talk about Ferguson or something like that, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah, let's leave that out of the equation.
Don't shoot. Okay. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. It's smoking.
But when you guys are talking, I know this guy, and this is a true story. He paid money to be in a Batman comic.
Wow.
It was for charity, so he paid money. And he told me it's coming out in May. He sent photographs to the artist, and he's going to be in the comic.
Kind of neat, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I wouldn't mind.
It's cool in a sense, but is anybody but him gonna know?
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, what if it's just like my hand coming out of the grave? That's my cameo in the Batman. Or what if it's really me and I look, terrible?
So they're not gonna make. I thought they were gonna make him a character or something.
Yeah, he's gonna be like a kind of an extra in the comic.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really have an idea how big of an extra, what kind of role he's going to play.
What kind of scene he's going to have, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
Here's my only problem with that, though. Paul, let's say that it's you that's doing this. You come to me and you say, hey, look, I'm in this comic. And I'm going to say, what level of arrogance are you on right now that you would think you're important enough?
Look, it looks just like me.
I know, but I would not believe you.
Yeah, I know.
Money.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how much he's out, but maybe he just got.
America. I paid money.
I'm wondering at the end of the book, is he going to thank everyone that contributed for the charity? I mean, that's.
You got to think they would do that. Probably, it's probably a whole big thing.
Yeah, introducing such
Sounds
and such.
like. Yeah.
Paul.
Neat.
Yeah, I'm curious to see.
I'd love to be in a like a DC comic or in a Batman comic. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Batman. I would be in.
I'd like to be in The Walking Dead. Actually, that's been my week. I just inhaled the last, 4 volumes of Walking Dead. I think it's like 15, 16, 17, and 18. The 18 of the volumes of the collected ones, the small collected ones. I just inhaled them. I just read them in a day, now.
Okay, the book?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Oh, that's right. It was based on a graphic novel.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's
dead. Cat's dead. There he's back. He's a zombie now.
So now I can talk about comics. Okay, so 16, 17, 18, and 19 of The Walking Dead.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure where they're at right now. My friend's been trying to get me to read these since 2007. And I finally caved a few weeks ago and started. It's actually Sam Sin of Square Pegs. He's been trying to get me on board with The Walking Dead since I left for Vermont. And I've been a fan of the show, and I started reading the comics sort of reluctantly and slowly, but got into it, especially when they started hitting stuff from the show.
Okay.
So now we're post-show in these volumes. And there's, I think, 4 more. So I'm real
Oh,
close to being caught up in all the comics.
wow.
Okay.
And this has had the effect of me having a renewed love of drawing comics because the artist has been real. There's some real Mazzucchelli and like Mike Mignola influences going on with the art in some of this. It's
Yeah.
really amazing. Yeah, I've
Come on down.
fallen in love with comics again.
Awesome.
See, I hate to be that guy, even though I love being that guy. I can't stand that show.
Oh, that's okay. It's not
I've never-
everybody's taste.
I've never seen it because we don't have cable. But my
See,
my son loves it. But I forgot the fact that it was based on a graphic novel. So I have to tell him that because he has no interest in my novels.
Which one? But the other one is small.
See, I'd be more interested in the graphic novels themselves. The show,
Which one?
in my opinion, got too soapy.
Yes, I kind of agree, especially after the last turn of events.
Thank you,
I'm
Ron.
still interested to see what's going to happen next now that I've read the comics, though.
Also,
Because they've gone beyond where the show is now. And
Careful.
but the comics are amazing. Much more brutal, much more terrifying, much more gut-wrenching than the show ever could be.
plus for me when it comes to
It's not about zombies at all. That's the best part. You don't realize it till you start getting
I'll
into
have to
that
check
world.
them out.
It's more about people and what people do when they're given like pretty much all the freedom in the world, you know?
right.
Uh-huh.
It's more of the human
apocalyptic
experience.
world. It really is. Not at first maybe, but it gets into that. But it's well written, it's well drawn, and I'm reading these and I've been getting into Tezuka for years now too. Osamu Tezuka. So and this week I'm really excited because I got the first 2 volumes of his The Life of Buddha
Man.
graphic novel series, and I just finished Dororo like last week, and I also got some of his other.
Yeah, like I said, prolific. Man.
But you know, and this is the guy I admire. So yeah, you asked me why I'm prolific. It's because everybody I admire didn't get any sleep either, and they kept doing stuff.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You make something every day, it adds up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if it's failed, like I have like a billion failed experiments at this point, but that's okay. You know, for me, But now I've been drawing cacahuate, so that's what I've been doing the weekly at least. So
That's on
ways.
Magic Inkwell?
yeah, it's on Magic Inkwell.
Okay.
It's every Tuesday. It goes online.
Okay. We'll link to it on our website for your vacation.
Yeah, that's very Tex-Mex for you.
Okay. Okay. I'll
That's
check
where
it
I'm.
out.
That's where I'm hiding the frijoles
Okay. I'll look.
in the Don Cacahuate strips. That's where I'm hiding.
All right, man. We got to go. Yeah, I could talk to you probably for weeks about this stuff. We're going to have you back on and talk about the comics.
That'd be great,
And,
folks.
all right. This has been the Beige Planet Podcast. I'm Paul Payne.
I'm Al Lawrence.
Cat Garza. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.